Alright, this video is about Berger's bullets. Okay, if you like my videos, please subscribe, by the way. I always appreciate lots of subscribers and views and shares, of course. Anyways, back to the book. Berger's Reloading book. It's a good book. I highly recommend it, especially if you shoot Berger's phenomenal bullets. They really do make some of the best bullets in the world. Probably maybe Lapua and Norma might compete with him a little bit. Maybe some of the small fry manufacturers out there like JLK bullets are maybe a tad bit bigger than Berger's. But really, you cannot find a better bullet made by a large manufacturer. Now, Berger isn't the biggest one out there. They're actually considered one of the smaller ones. Sierra, Hornady, Spear, all those guys are much bigger than Berger is. They make much bigger quantities. But with large quantities, there's almost always inevitably a sacrifice in quality. But Berger has never done that, and I always have appreciated the quality of their bullets. And the quality of their reloading book is not quite up to snuff with their bullets. That's not to say this is not a good book. I would still highly recommend having it. But keep in mind, this is a first edition book. Okay, this is the first one they've ever done. It needs a lot of help, but it's still one that I had to have. I would still always go back in history and buy this book again. The cartridge selection is not that huge. Each one has a lot of loads for each cartridge. I mean, each one, he's obviously very extensively tested every single bullet that will work with that cartridge that he manufactures. And so you'll have plenty of data if your cartridge is in here. And so for that reason, I would highly recommend you go to the table of contents and just make sure that the cartridge that you're looking for is in there. Okay, keep in mind too that Berger only manufactures bullets up to 30 cal. They don't manufacture anything bigger than that. At least nothing larger than that is covered in this book. Now, to the beginning. This is probably the most important part for those of you who want to use this book as a reference. There's lots of good knowledge in this book. However, it was a hard read, okay? And we'll get into that here in a second. Like, for instance, here, like Chapter 7, growing up and entering the real world, is all about, well, Berger's history in college. And then we get into back to shooting. Oh, now we're back to shooting. And then we get a little bit farther, and then we go back to hunting again. And then another chapter on Walt Berger's experience hunting, and the list goes on and on. And I mean, really, like, this whole section of the book could be cut out because it's just information about Walt Berger, and I think that would be better placed in another book, not in a reloading book. I mean, maybe one chapter about Walt Berger, because the guy has really done a lot of things for the shooting industry, and I highly respect him, but and then when you get into the actual reloading section itself, there's lots of good tips in here that you won't find in other places. But he kind of flips back and forth between his historical narrative about his own personal life and then maybe going back to actually reloading or their bullets or something like that. So it needs editing is all it needs, really. But, hey, it is a first edition, so this is kind of to be expected. I really look forward to seeing edition number 2, which will hopefully be coming out soon, because I know Berger's introduced a few new bullets since then. The panic that's been going on right now has kept them quite a ways behind production, and so it's prevented them a little bit from making more new bullets. But hopefully we'll see a new book soon and more new bullets from Berger. Again, if you're a little bit more advanced into reloading, this is a good book for you to pick up. If you shoot Berger bullets, absolutely, I would highly recommend getting this book. Don't go online looking for reload recipes and try shooting them. I saw somebody else on YouTube do this with a 6.5 by 47 Lapua. He went out and complained that, in the first shot it was blowing primers because he looked up somebody else's load online. Walt Berger, one of the little tidbits of information he puts in here is that a 10,000th of variance in bore diameter will change the PSI in your cartridge that your cartridge experiences with the same load by 1,000 PSI. Okay, that's a lot. And so if you have a barrel that's maybe 2/10 of a thousandth of an inch smaller than somebody else's, your rifle could handle a load completely different. And that's why we go to reloading books, because these are tested amongst a large variety of barrels and should be safe. All right? So, good book for the advanced reloader, and enjoy.